Yeah, she has an experience with an extraterrestrial, I suppose, when she's a young child. And it's a experience that sort of opens her up to this idea that the world is maybe not exactly what it seems. That they live among us. And she gets a glimpse of this organization. These two men in black appear at her home. And she sort of spends the rest of her life seeking out that organization, because now that she has this information that nobody else has, her parents were neuralized, they don't remember, it's really isolating. And so in some ways, the only place where she could be at home is inside of an organization that also has the same information about the universe that she now does.
At this point in the film, he's quite accomplished in his universe saving and so on, and so he has extra unhealthy dose of sort of ego and, you know, his sort of position and all this, and kind of works alone, doesn't need a partner, so on. Meets her and he's like, oh yeah, cool, get, you know, hello, just think young rookie, yep, no worries, and she ends up accompanying him on a mission, which he's sort of like, oh, what the hell, why not? And I think really kind of enjoys her company, thinks she's fun and so on. And then their sort of vastly different approaches to the work and their values and what they're doing and so on become apparent, and there's some healthy tension there, and then they start sort of butting heads. But you know, there really is what I loved about it, a big learning curve for the two of them. I think, you know, there's for my character anyway, quite a sort of moment of self-discovery, and she sort of says, look a little deeper because I think you're missing or avoiding something, some bigger truth, and so they really kind of complement each other in that way, and yeah, it's cool.
My favorite thing, one of my favorite things about Chris, is you'll get into an improvisation and he likes to push it to the point where we then worry we'll never be hired again.
Yeah. He often kind of reins me in, you know, and I think part of creation is destruction at times. So
yeah, that's true, actually.
You need to wreck some stuff. And no, that is kind of, sort of my process, I think. I do want to kind of really just go all over and then kind of feel, okay, that's probably the boundaries and so on. Pretty unfair sometimes for Tessa if she's like, what the hell are you doing, Chris?
It was only unfair that the very first day that I worked on Thor, I was like, this is confusing. Can I talk now? Or you're just going to keep talking, should I?
Is it my turn?
I had a line.
That was great though, because we had that, because we'd done it so many times before, we were able to just kind of pick up on that same energy, and you know, there's a sort of mad chaos to it, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of trust. I think we can look at each other and go, do I suck? And then the person can say yes.
Yes.
Or occasionally, no, that was good.
So, yeah.
I'm a huge fan of hers, so I was very nervous her first day, and I had a 40-minute commute to get to work, and I was sort of steeling myself for the journey and then fell asleep. And I literally arrived, and had a bit of, you know, sometimes we drool as humans, and I sort of wiped my mouth and opened the door, and there was Emma Thompson stood waiting for me. So I didn't even have a second to prepare myself to impress her, and she was so lovely, and we just had such a great time together.
Did you feel like a working holiday? It did. It was part of the appeal, or one of the strengths in making this different, not feel like we were mimicking what had been done before. It just to aesthetically give it a different tone and feel, just by going to different countries, in London and Italy and Morocco and Paris and New York, informs a sort of different attitude within the characters too. You know, you do react within your environment and to the environment, and certainly, you know, when we've come from London in the back lot of the studio, and all of a sudden we're in Italy on the coastline, there's a whole different energy. You know? And I love that, and it's just one of the sort of, you know, wonderful things about being an actor is being able to sort of globe trot around the place and have someone else pay for it.
True. I did so much shopping in Morocco. Every time they would call cut, I would like run, because we were essentially shooting where you shop in the Medina, so I got a lot of things.
How'd you get that back into the country? You know, the little form that you fill out, and you're like, do you have any wood or leather or da-da-da-da?
Yeah, they shipped it for me.
No.
They shipped it for me. You went shopping too. You remember?
I know, and I got arrested at the border security.
That wasn't for shopping.
That wasn't for that, no.